Welcome back, students. I hope you are ready for a great semester. What I'd like to do now is give you a very brief tour of our Canvas course page so you can get started. I will go over this material in more detail at our first session, which will be on Zoom, and it is optional, but I would really encourage you to participate there so you can have a more detailed tour of the Canvas course page, especially because it'll be more ready by then. So let's go ahead here and let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to go into our share screen mode. And let's go ahead and let this thing get out of the way. Very good. So there are several ways you can access our page. One of them is you can go to the lbcc.edu homepage. And from there, there is a direct link that takes you to the Canvas LMS. And there is a link there to Canvas. You should also be able to, if we go back here to our homepage, you should also be able to access the Viking portal. You can just log in. Now there's a login mode and stuff. And now, of course, mine looks a little different because this is the instructor's one, but you should have a link to Canvas there. Now, you can also go from whatever your homepage is and simply type in lbcc.instructure.com, and that should take you directly to the page. Oh, you know what? I am already logged in, so sorry about that. So you will log in with your student credentials and you'll have a dashboard. And of course, this is my dashboard, so there's a lot of stuff in there that probably you don't have access. But somewhere in that dashboard, there should be an access to our course. Right now, it's unpublished as I record this, but it'll be down here. Make sure it's Chem 1B, section 70865. When you click there, you will arrive at our homepage. Once more, this is the view of the instructor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to simulate the student view. In other words, the view that you will have. So when you click our tile on the general dashboard, this is the home page you will get. You'll typically have a to-do list here, which you can probably deactivate or disable, I'm sorry. Our homepage is the place to start. It tells you start here. It tells you what should be the steps you should take as you start the course. For example, you should start by looking at the syllabus, right? You can get to the syllabus from this link here or from this bar here on the left, which is the course navigation bar. Now, on the far left of your screen, you're going to have what is called the general or global navigation bar. And in there, what I think is important is this help button here. If you click there, you're going to get a lot of guides and tutorials in case you need help with navigating through our Canvas page, okay? So that is our main place here. The other important item you'll have here, which we'll see later on in a further video, is the inbox. This is where you will communicate directly with me. Right now it's denied because I haven't activated it yet for the students, all right? So let's go back to our home page, all right? I'm gonna take us back to our home page. And here we are. And notice that you can access the syllabus through the course navigation bar here on the left, which is syllabus, and here it is. Because of the new remote instruction mode, we have been required to do a very lengthy, very comprehensive syllabus. So when you go through this, please, be patient. You're gonna have to read through a lot of stuff. Once more, I will go through that in a very detailed form in our first meeting. All right, let's go back to our home page here. Once you have navigated through the syllabus, the next section you want to go to is a module called Before We Begin. Now, what will happen is our course is organized in modules, which you can access again here on the left navigation bar. And there is this block here called Before We Begin. Please go through this before we start classes. This is where the video that I'm recording right now is going to be. There's going to be a more detailed one later on, and then several items here which I will discuss on our Zoom meeting of day 1. You're also going to have access to several course materials and resources. Please read information about the textbook. We have 2 options for it. Those of you who choose the TRO textbook can find your homework here. And there's a few other items here that I'd like you to go through, all right, before we start. Now, there are 2 ways of navigating through this course. The first one is a block of modules that is organized as a timeline. Here are weeks 1 and 2. If you go back to our homepage, you'll see that if you had followed the actual, organizational scheme here, you would have gone through what I just showed you before we began, course materials and resources, and the weeks 1 and 2 activities. So what I've done is, to help you out, you have one way of navigating is on a calendar basis. So what I have here is a module that has a block of all the activities you will be doing during the first couple of weeks. That includes labs, homework assignments, quizzes, and of course, the lectures for the different topics we're going to be studying. So for example, let's say you want to go here to Unit 13, and this is going to be the study of reaction rates. As you can see, there's nothing in it yet, but it'll be ready, don't worry, by next week. All right, so let's go back here and let's continue down here. So let me collapse all of these items here. There's also a second block of modules that is organized by topics. Let's say that you want to locate a particular lecture video, but you can't remember what week we did it in. So you can go here directly and either locate the PowerPoints directly here, or you can go here and look directly under, let's say, for example, the kinetics unit, and maybe you were looking specifically for the one about rate loss, and it'll be located here. Okay, you can see the topics here: nuclear chemistry, equilibrium, acids and bases, aqueous solutions, thermodynamics. I'm collapsing them as I go through. So you can see where you have all of the different units here and all the materials. All right. There's also at the bottom here a module that I keep. This is information about the community at LBCC. Different resources that, for students who might find themselves in a housing or food needs situation. There's several resources here. The school stand on, the so-called Dreamers Act, and also the College Promise program for students in the, Long Beach Unified School District to access free education here at LBCC. Okay, let's go back to our homepage so you can see some other things. Like I said, you can navigate this, in sequence here. And I would recommend that you follow this section here that says Start Here. Please read about communications. Very important that you monitor our announcements page. And right now that is in process, but that is how I will communicate with you. Here's some information about the textbook. You're going to have 2 options for it. If you've already taken Chem 1A here, you should have access to the 5th edition of the Chemistry, A Molecular Approach book by Nivaldo Tro. If you don't have access to that or one of the hard copies of it, particularly the 4th edition of it, you can also enroll in our Top Hat textbook. And again, you will be able to join this. I have sent an email with information about how to join that course. Again, you'll have more information when you join there. Notice again that you can access all the PowerPoints for all of our lectures. The PowerPoint notes that I make accessible to you, let me show you, are going to be a version of the one that I'm going to use in my lecture. Your handout version will have blanks in it, and let me show you a little bit about it by looking at this first one here. This will be our first lecture, will be kinetics. This is our first unit. And when you navigate in there, you can see a preview here. Sorry, my computer apparently is a little slow here, but it's coming up. It's getting there. Okay. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, this is embarrassing here. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, this will show you the slides, and as you navigate through them, you will see that there's going to be some blanks in there for you to fill out. And the idea is that you have this with you as you go through my video, and as you go through, you can fill in some of the blanks, some of the stuff that is missing from here. For example, what is the answer to this? Okay, this is a technique that I use. This is my teaching style. I want you to be able to highlight the things that are important, and I feel that doing it this way helps to embed the information in your brain. Okay, let's go back here to the home page. Home page here, sorry about that. And let me show you a few other things. For example, one of the things that we have here is okay, homework. Again, I will discuss more about that in our Zoom session of day 1. And another way of accessing information is this dashboard here. So for example, I just showed you the kinetics unit. So you can simply click here on this tile in our dashboard, and it'll navigate you to the module that has all of the kinetics stuff, okay? Or for example, let's say that you want to go from here to the course materials and resources. You're going to just click here on this image, and it'll take you specifically to that module where we have information about our textbook. If you want to do your, check your learning style, there's a link to a PowerPoint viewer here, periodic table, the answers to homework 0. Speaking of which, let me go back here to our home page. And if you go here on the left to our course navigation page, you can see where we have links, like I said, to the Student Technology Help Desk, and also to the assignments. So let's look at the assignments here, right? So all of your assignments are going to be accessible from this link here in the course navigation page. It'll show you what are the upcoming ones. So this will be the assignments that are already set up for the first week or so. Notice that right now it's not showing anything else. But for example, one of the things I want to point out is this homework 0. Let me open it for you so you see how it works. So like most assignments, what you're going to have here is you're going to have some instructions. You're going to have, perhaps in this case, a link to download a file. And what will happen is you will be, when you are ready, you're going to submit your assignment. Now, when you submit your assignment, what you're going to have is you're going to have an opportunity here to upload a file. One of the things that's important is please read the instructions as to which file formats are going to be acceptable. Okay, so you cannot upload, JPEG or PNG files here. They have to be PDF or word processor files, doc or docx. Okay, I'm sure that if you're using a Mac or some other type of operating system, you can convert easily from there into any one of these formats. Okay, let me show you again in the assignments. Here, and I'm going to show you other upcoming assignments. Here's one called Lab Techniques, right? And that one you are going to essentially, this is locked right now, so right now we can't see it. Sorry about that. I will go over these things on the first day of classes. Normally, if this were a regular semester, not online, you would be doing that activity in our first lab session, which would be on the first day of classes. Everything else ends here, but as you can see, all of them are not going to be available until the first week, right? And but this is where you can find your assignments, and I'll talk more about that in our first meeting, okay? I'm going to come back here to our homepage and close it up by letting you know that there are many ways in which you can communicate with me. You can email me. You can essentially put messages here on the left on this inbox link here. This is probably my preferred way because that connects to our Canvas page. Now, once more, let me encourage you to go to that, excuse me, to that before we begin module, because when you get there, of course, you're going to have several, this video that I'm doing right now is going to be in here. But for example, there's several things that you're going to have to look at here. For example, how do you upload files in here? How do you convert your files into PDF documents? I have instructions here. Going to the next page, it's going to show you how are you going to locate your assignments and your data sets. This is a format. I'm going to put an extra video here, which I'll show on our first day. This is using the Canvas app, and I strongly recommend you download that. Okay, our next page here, excuse me, is going to be a review on how to do a graph in Excel. One of our first activities is going to be that. So as an LBCC student, you have access to the full Office 365 apps suite, and that includes Excel, so you can use it for making graphs. And then here is also a video I want you to watch, how to use an analytical balance. And I believe this is homework 0 that you're going to be turning in on the first day of classes. This is going to be a practice for you before we start. So it should already be available as soon as I publish this, but I sent you an email where I attached this file for you to do. Now, what you need to do is once the Canvas course page is ready, which will be soon, after this, you will be able to see the answers to homework 0 so you can check your work before you upload your answers, before you submit the assignment. All right. And I think that that is all I'm going to cover in this brief introduction here. Just remember, I'm here for you. This may seem a little daunting to some of you. Those of you who already took Chem 1A with me are probably familiar with this, so you'll be able to navigate it. Okay, let me come back here and tell you that I'm here for you, okay? As I said in my welcome message, I see this as a tour, and I see myself as your tour guide. So hopefully we'll enjoy this tour. And remember that whether during my office times or via our Canvas messaging inbox or push come to shove through emails or text messages, I'm going to be here for you. If I don't respond immediately to your messages, please be patient. I'll get there. The syllabus explains kind of sort of like my policy for responding to your messages. Feel free to ask me about anything, okay? Don't be shy. There are no dumb questions in Dr. DA's house. But I cannot read your mind. I don't have that superpower yet. Any questions you have, please feel free to ask me, okay? I'm here for you. Okay, I hope to see all of you or most of you on day 1. It will be at 5 p.m. And again, that meeting will be recorded. So if you can't be there with us, you can watch it later that day or maybe the next day. Okay, I will at that time cover more details about the class, about me, about my teaching style, about my teaching philosophy, and more details about how to navigate our Canvas course shell. Okay, great to have you with me, and I hope we'll have a great time. All right, peace out.